can I get you?
I'll have a cup of despair and a powdered donut.
Uh-huh. Do you want side of fries with that?
Hello, welcome to Random Movie Time. Today's feature is the 1997 erotic thriller, The Blackout, written and directed by Abel Ferrara, starring Matthew Modine, Beatrice Dalle, Dennis Hopper, and Claudia Schiffer. This tells the story of a young Hollywood power couple whose marriage goes on the rocks once the husband starts abusing drugs, and things take a very sour turn from there on in. What do you think, Shannon?
I don't know what to say other than this movie is a bit of crap. It's very frenzied. I understand why the director made half of the movie about this guy being on drugs and drinking all the time. I kind of understand where he's coming from in that way. You just see him act. Apparently he's like a celebrity. The main character is a celebrity, and he is just off the rails, drinking all the time, doing drugs all the time. He has a friend who is constantly filming some improvisational porno film in a club he owns or something. It's just really hard to watch for a while. I mean, it's pretty hard to watch for the whole thing. But even when it calms down, it's really hard to watch. The acting, I can't say I was very impressed. It was a bit campy. The ending was supposed to be a big twist. But I think I kind of figured out what had happened really early on. But I won't spoil it for you. If you want to watch this movie, go ahead. The music, which was composed by Paul David Hewson, who you might know as Bono or whatever. It's just terrible. I don't know if he composed the whole score, but he did a big part of it, and it's just really, really bad. In the end, I guess the payoff was kind of good, but it really wasn't worth it, like having to sit through that whole fiasco. I was confused half the time, which I guess is what the director was trying to go for. He was trying to make it feel frenzied and confusing, as if maybe you were the addict. Maybe that's what his angle was, but it was just really... I found it very difficult to watch. He did attempt to go clean for a while, but he's so obsessed with his past girlfriend he couldn't let it go, and so he fell down the well again, and in the end it's tragic. It's so tragic for this guy. Poor fellow. I don't really have any sympathy for him. But honestly, this movie could have been an episode of some really bad crime show. It could have been 45 minutes and done. It didn't have to be a full feature-length movie. I'm just trying to find something of value in this film. And I can't. It's unfortunate because there are some good actors in it. It's just really, really bad. It's just really bad. That's my rant. Tommy, it's your turn. What do you say?
Well, first of all, this movie was really badly miscast. There's good actors, but they were not cast in the right roles. Matthew Modine especially. I just don't buy him as this really sleazy character. He does good bad guys, like he plays a really good one in Stranger Things. But typically he plays nice guys, and he does not come across as believable as this slimy, druggy type of character. Dennis Hopper is trying, you'd think this would be a perfect role for him. Doing a sort of sleazebag strip bar / porno director. It seems like it would be a perfect role for him, but I think even he realized that just the dialogue wasn't very good and he wasn't giving it his all. The only actor that I would say was maybe well cast was Beatrice Dalle as the wife. She's more known in France. I've seen her in a lot of French movies. The only other sort of North American movie I can think of that she's in, and I'm not even sure if this is a North American movie, was that one we saw called Night on Earth, and I think that was by Jim Jarmusch.
Yeah.
Was it Jim Jarmusch or Wim Wenders?
No, it was Jim Jarmusch, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so she played that blind taxi passenger, and she did a really good job in that. And she's pretty good in this, but a thankless role. Claudia Schiffer, I think this was Claudia Schiffer's screen debut. She didn't do a lot of acting, but she has a smaller role and she's okay in it, but really nothing memorable. But yeah, badly miscast for Matthew Modine. That's the biggest problem with the movie. Abel Ferrara has done some renowned things. He did The Bad Lieutenant. He started off doing cheesier stuff, exploitation movies like I think Driller Killer, and I think he even did a porno.
Yeah, he was a porn director. That's how he got his start.
Yeah. But he did quite a few movies that were well received. That's how he got all these stars to be in this movie, because he is considered, an important director, a good director.
Yeah.
But his career has just been up and down, and this was one of the down points, I think. So
yeah, this was a I forgot to mention, this was a Cannes competition entry.
Well, it was entered out of competition, apparently.
Out of competition.
It was still shown at Cannes as though it was an important movie coming up,
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And surprisingly enough, it did get quite a few good reviews, which shocked me. Maybe it was the time. It was 1997 when this film was released. So maybe it was just the time, the paradigm of the time.
Well, it was definitely riding the wave of all those erotic thrillers they came out with in the 80s and 90s, like Fatal Attraction sort of started that.
Yeah.
And there was lots of direct-to-video stuff in that genre. This sort of seems like it would be one of those, but it was actually released theatrically.
I can see some, actually when I was watching the movie, I did see some kind of Twin Peakish type things in it, which, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an influence. Of course, it wasn't as good as Twin Peaks, but but I definitely saw that influence. So, yeah, I think it was just, it was outdated at the time, probably, even.
Abel Ferrara's got that kind of improvisational style to his movies, and if they are actually improvised, that's the thing about improvisation, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And movies that have a lot of dialogue with people talking about nothing, it can work, like in a Tarantino movie, for example, when the dialogue is really interesting.
Or Robert Altman, too.
Or Robert Altman. In this movie, people talking about nothing is just as boring as it sounds. It's just like it drags, and you're not really interested in any of these characters. None of them are really likable.
No, it's over the top. Really is.
Yep.
It doesn't have any substance. Ha ha, no pun intended. It has lots of substances, but no substance.
So how many broken champagne glasses on the floor would you give this one?
Oh, okay, I'll give it 1. Because I don't think it merits a 0 quite so much. I think that, like I say, there is some Twin Peaks influences I saw in there, and I love David Lynch. There were a couple of interesting things in it, but yeah, I think I'll give it a 1 to be generous there. Mm. How about you? How many broken champagne glasses, honey?
Yeah, I'll give it 1 as well. You can't completely dismiss it just because of all the star power here. There's probably some people that you might like and you're just interested in seeing the movie because of them, or you're interested in Abel Ferrara's career as a director and you want to just see everything he's done. So, I mean, you know, there's some stuff here for the curious, but otherwise...
Curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah.
Or the victim in this case, in this movie.
So that's about it. 1997's The Blackout. Hopefully you won't black out halfway through the movie, but we almost did. So that's it for this time, and we'll see you next time on Random Movie Time.
My God, it's full of stars.